But today is definitely laundry day, and I'm about to join. As you can see, some people put plastic on their laundry in case it rains. This is our extra DIY clothesline that we put in that was not here. And these are my favorite clothespins. You can buy them at any China store. If you drop something out here into the common area, you either have to ask a neighbor to get it for you if they have access, or in my case, there are no neighbors with access here. So I have to wait until the portero gets here, like on Monday. So because I'm doing laundry on the weekend, if I drop a clothespin or some type of clothing item, I have to, oops, I have to either, low budget YouTubing here. Okay, I'm gonna have to change this. I have to either like rig up a fishing line to get it, which I've done before, and I have a reel of us doing that on YouTube, or I have to wait until Monday when the portero gets here and he will go get it. So those are the two choices. You wait, or you create a fishing line with like an octopus fishing hook or some kind of thing that you just rig up and do it. Like I said, we had a whole episode of trying to obtain a shirt that had fallen one weekend that we had to get. So anyhow, the worst thing about doing the laundry outside is the cigarette smoke, because people come out here and smoke, and I absolutely hate it. But anyhow, besides that, it's fine. It takes a while. It takes a lot longer than throwing the clothes in the dryer. Okay, so I got my tripod. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, 35 degrees or something like that, and I'm out here doing laundry in the cold. And the clothes don't dry that fast in the winter, not as fast as they do in the summer when it's really hot. But still, it might take a day for all of these clothes to dry. And so if I don't do at least one load a day, then things get really backed up. So I'm going to show you what I have going on right now. And you have to lean like all the way out here and trust that you're not going to fall. In the U.S., we have these safety precautions that we take. One of them is to not lean over the banisters or balconies. And here, I routinely have to lean over the balcony just to do laundry. So it goes against what I feel safe doing, what I've been taught. But that's how it is here. So here I go, leaning to do the laundry. Where did it go? Where's the shirt? There it is. I try to put the small things over here on the window. A little bit awkward hanging out your unmentionables in front of your neighbors. But I've heard from Spanish people that they don't even think about it. They're so used to doing it, it doesn't bother them to go ask their neighbor for their underwear if it falls. Me? I think I'll just let it go. Let's see if I can show you how I'm about to question my sanity and my life. Scary. So I suggest that you try to do at least one load of laundry a day, because otherwise you're like I am today. I have at least 3 loads of laundry to do, and it's going to take all day for it to dry. Yes.
It's so cold.
It's cold. We'll go inside. So I almost have all of my lines full. I have a few spots that I'm going to use over here. And I have one more big thing to hang up, and then it basically takes everything, all the space that I have out here. It takes all of it, and that's why we put up the light on the window, so we'd have more room. I'm going to have to like shift some things to fit this. So I'm going to move these pants over here. And so then now I'll go do another load in the washing machine, and that load of laundry will have to go on the rack that's outside. It's the only way I can fit even 2 loads of laundry on these lines that we have. You might be wondering if we have a dryer, and we do have a dryer. This is it. They basically, I can't get a good view here, but basically they work. You know, it's the same thing as what I have some clothes in here. And what I do is after things get dry, the stuff that I would want to go into a dryer so that it's not all wrinkly, I put in the dryer for like 30 minutes. And that just makes it so that it doesn't have the wrinkles, like pants, t-shirts, or if I don't want to have stiff towels. But the way these dryers work is they collect water in a container, which you have to pour out. Let's see if I can show you. I'm sure I have some water in there. Not really. I can hear it, but do you hear it? But it's not coming out. So because I only use it for 30 minutes at a time, it doesn't collect a lot of water. But it's quite small. I don't know what size it is, but it's this brand called Beko, and it's got 1 to 7 kilograms of clothing that it can take. So obviously, it's not very big. I mean, it's not very big, you know? You can see, like, it's small. And you really can't depend on this to dry your clothes because it's not efficient. And they're expensive. So while you might decide to buy a dryer, they're very, very, very expensive here. All right, so here we go. I have to fill this up, and let's see if maybe I can do a 3rd load today, but this is going to be for load number 2. Oh yeah, maybe I'll show you how this works. So you fold the sides. And then the legs also fold in. So it becomes one flat piece, and you can store it somewhere if you want. And they make these in all different sizes, but this is probably the most commonly found and used. And as you can see, we've had it for a few years and it's broken. And so we've replaced the wires that came with it with our own string. So here we go. Okay, so as you can see, I have about 3/4 of this thing full, which means I could possibly do another load of laundry because what's outside, some of it is going to be dry by the time I need it. So I know this is riveting content. It's just, wow, Ashley, so much useful knowledge here, right? But I know that moving to Spain from the United States, it's a big concern about how you're going to manage to do your laundry. How do you live without a dryer? And this is how. It does take time, but I have learned that number 1, I need to do 1 load a day. If I don't, then at some point I'm going to have to do 3 or 4 loads a day, and I'm going to have clothes hanging everywhere. So, you know, in the summer, it's a little easier because things dry faster because of the heat. But in the winter, like today, it doesn't. So, you know, it's just things take longer because it's not as hot outside. There's not as many daylight hours. Okay, so I'm going to go around to the inner part of the apartment and see if I can find out if any of the clothes from earlier today are dry yet. Okay, so it's darker back here because there's not as much sun. And I'm not the only one still doing laundry. And so let me see. So this stuff mostly still needs more time. could maybe take a couple of things off, but I'm going to leave them for now. And that's going to give me enough space to do a third load to hang up before I go to bed. As you know, it takes an hour and a half to wash a load of laundry with my settings, so it's like 4 o'clock right now, so I'm probably going to just be hanging laundry up, and by the time I go to bed, and it'll have to dry overnight out here, and hopefully it doesn't rain. All right, guys, so in conclusion, I've showed you a little bit about how I manage the laundry here in Spain, specifically in Zaragoza. Woo, look at the sun. And I've shown you our clothing rack, the clothesline that we keep outside, the washing machine. I've talked about not having a dryer. The washing machine being in the kitchen, which is a little weird compared to what we have in the U.S. But when I lived in Mexico, the washing machine was outside, and I had to go outside in all the weather to even use the washing machine. So I think it's an improvement to have it in the kitchen.